Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another foundation dupe video. I have been really looking through my collection and comparing items, and I think I found a dupe for one of my favorite high-end foundations, the Huda Beauty Luminous Matte Foundation. We have here the Profusion Feel Good Skin Foundation for $7. Before we get started, I do quickly want to introduce myself. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Jessica, aka The Mexican Beauty. I make videos on all things beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. I would love for you to go hit that subscribe button down below. Also, please don't forget to hit that notification bell because that will make sure you never miss my videos. And also, please don't forget to check out my other platforms. First, on Instagram, The Mexican Beauty. I'm always posting some really amazing content over there. And also on TikTok, my 1-minute reviews that I have been really enjoying. So please go ahead and follow me there because whenever I'm not here on YouTube, you can always find me on those two platforms. I actually already went ahead and I moisturized my skin. On both sides, I'm gonna be using the exact same products. I'm using just the Fenty Skin Hydrovisor. This is a moisturizer and sunscreen in one. It contains 30 SPF. It's one of my favorite products. Really love this. It already had some time to melt into the skin. I always like to give my sunscreen and moisturizer time to really sink in before we get started with the foundation, also with the primer. So now for primer, I think I want to go ahead and use the one that I always like to use with these foundations, and that is the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer. I like to use this hydrating primer because both of these foundations are really nice and full coverage, and whenever I go in with a full coverage, more so, I don't want to say it's thick consistency, but it's thicker than what's really in right now, which is that super serum-like foundation base. I like to go in with something super hydrating just so that the foundation can set really nicely on top and melt easily into the skin. I feel like your prep is so important, and I'm just using the same thing because I want to be able to show you guys how these work with the same exact products. You guys can see I love this stuff so much. I'm almost done. I actually love the fact that this foundation does a really good job of just gripping everything on. So I always like using this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. So this does retail for $40. This is supposed to be a full coverage foundation. It offers a nice soft matte finish with some hydration and a little bit luminosity. It's not as thick, I would say, as the original one. I personally am a fan of both of them. This one also doesn't have any fragrance like the original one. That's something that Huda Beauty is really moving away from, is like the fragrance in their products. So I am using this one in the shade Butter Pecan, and I'm just gonna pump this out. This is also supposed to give you a full coverage finish. So whenever people ask me like for a high-end foundation that really looks absolutely stunning and almost airbrush looking, this is the one that I always recommend. It's a foundation definitely for the person who likes that full coverage finish, who wants to look super just glammed up. So I'm just gonna be using my Morphe brush. This is my M439. And I'm gonna be blending it so you guys can see immediately it gives you full coverage. The consistency of this also is a little bit thicker, so that's just something to note. I don't know why I put so much on, like I didn't realize that this always gives me super full coverage, but you do not need a lot. This foundation also is a foundation that, because it's so creamy, it does dry down pretty fast. So I always work fast with it. I don't like to waste too much time because that's the one thing that I didn't necessarily like the most about it, is that if you let it just sit on the face for like 30 seconds, it will start to kind of like stick on the face. So you definitely want to work fast with it so that you can definitely get like that really good coverage. Now, I will say one thing. I feel like with this foundation, if you do not prep the skin correctly or you do not have more so oily skin, it can definitely separate on your skin. So that's why I'm saying it's so important for you to prep the skin with your primer that's hydrating. I like to use this one, the Water Jelly, because it's just super hydrating, but it doesn't leave my skin looking like dewy or glowy. If you guys have tried the Huda Beauty foundation, what are your thoughts on it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I personally feel like it's one of those that's like a classic. And I also love the fact that they have so many shades. So that's one of my favorite things about that. And this is the foundation. You guys can see the difference between foundation and no foundation. Like the coverage it gives you is just phenomenal. Now that we've talked about this foundation, we're gonna move on to our next foundation, which is the drugstore foundation. This is a Profusion Feel Good Skin Long Wear Skin Perfector. This does retail for $7. You can find it at Walmart, like I just mentioned, or on Profusion's website. And this is cruelty-free and vegan. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna apply it in a different part of my hand so I don't mix the two. I do wear this in the shade Tan 1 Neutral, and let me just tell you, this is like a perfect match for me. I really love this foundation. Something that I love about this foundation a little bit more than the Huda Beauty is the fact that this I feel like is a little bit more hydrating. This does contain hyaluronic acid, which makes it more so of that hydrating finish. It does claim to be a medium to full coverage foundation, and for me, I feel like it gives me like full coverage right away. Like I just feel like the coverage is just gorgeous on this. So I really love that. And I'm gonna be using a different brush for this. I'm gonna be using this brush. So they're both Morphe brushes that I use, but they're different brushes, just so you guys know that I'm not using the same brush. And I actually already did a TikTok comparing these, and I used the same brushes for each side. So yeah. Okay, so now we're going in on this side, and I'm gonna bring you guys in closer so you guys can really see it. You guys saw it in my affordable makeup routine for summer, sweat-proof. I was using this foundation. It is so beautiful, you're about to see. So this foundation gives you phenomenal coverage, but it's so much more lightweight than the Huda Beauty one. So perhaps if you don't like how thick the Huda Beauty one can get, and you like more so of like still full coverage, but looking like your perfected skin, you're going to really like this one by Profusion. So I would say the difference with the formulas is that the one by Profusion is definitely a much more lightweight consistency, but the coverage of both of them is exactly the same. Like it gives you the most beautiful coverage. And honestly, looking at them side by side, I feel like the one by Profusion just looks better. Like I feel like it also just feels like skin. I feel like on the side with the Huda Beauty, yes, it's so perfected and like airbrush looking, but you can definitely feel the foundation on your face. Also with the Profusion one, you don't have to work too fast for it to set. And also you guys can see with this one, it does give you a pretty like radiance from within finish, like as you're applying, but then it sets in and it just looks like perfected skin. And with both, I just went in with one pump and it gave me what it needed to give me, which I really love. Obviously another difference is the color. They are different formulas, so the color is not gonna be exactly the same, but they're definitely really close in match. I will have my shade references down below so you guys can check this out in case you're my complexion. So this foundation, let me just read a little bit more about it. It's supposed to offer you a natural satin finish, as opposed to the Huda Beauty one, which is more so of like that luminous matte. I do feel like honestly for this one, it sets into a soft matte. Like right now it looks a little tiny bit radiant, but I feel like as it sits on the skin, it just looks like a very soft, natural matte finish for my skin. And I never have any issues of it looking like super dewy or overly dewy on my skin, which I really do appreciate. And I just feel like if you look at it side by side, it looks like you're pretty much wearing the same thing. So that's the comparison between the Huda Beauty Luminous Matte Foundation and the Profusion Feel Good Skin Foundation. You guys saw how they both applied. Obviously, I feel like if you want the maximum coverage, applying them with a brush is your best bet. If you want to like make it look a little bit more natural, then definitely go in with a sponge. But you guys can clearly see that both of these foundations are full coverage. They're gonna cover absolutely everything you need to cover, and you do not need a lot of product to cover what it needs to cover. So that I really do appreciate on both of these. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna come back and give you guys my first impressions, and we can begin our wear test comparing these two foundations, high-end versus drugstore. Okay guys, so I just finished getting ready. Now I will have all the details on what I have on my face down below in my description box. You guys can go ahead and check them out. But let's go ahead and talk about these foundations, because I mean, guys, like they look so similar. So I have here Huda Beauty, and I have to say everything applied so nicely on both sides. I do feel like personally for me, I've noticed that whenever I wear my Profusion foundation, everything just goes on so pigmented. These two are the few foundations out of the full coverage foundation family that I own that when I apply products on top, they don't separate or get chunky or just, you know, have issues. I feel like sometimes with full coverage foundations or just thicker consistency foundations, the products on top tend to not layer on nicely. And with these, everything layers on nicely. So you guys can see, once they set, they literally set pretty much the same. Like they give you that nice, like soft matte finish. I do feel like the side with the Huda Beauty shows a little bit more of my imperfections. Now I will be doing a super up close in natural lighting clip so you guys can see how both of them look side by side. But I've been testing these out on my own time side by side. And the biggest difference that I've noticed once I do set them is the fact that I feel like with the Profusion, it really does a good job of like filtering out those enlarged pores and giving a more perfected finish. I feel like the Huda Beauty one is lovely, but I do notice a little bit more enhancement to little blemishes and things that I wouldn't want to be enhanced when I am wearing this foundation. But overall, everything else is fine. I also feel like these two colors are like very similar, like once they set. I'm gonna carry on with my day and do my in natural lighting clip, and I'll see you guys later. Okay guys, so it's a little bit rainy, which is why it's a little darker than usual. But let's talk about these two foundations. So I have on here the Profusion, so you guys can see. Like, look how perfected this foundation looks. Especially in like natural lighting, it just looks phenomenal. And the color is like chef's kiss, you guys can see. And then this side right here, we have Huda Beauty Luminous Matte Faux Filter. It looks really good as well, but I do feel like the texture is slightly enhanced on this side. Profusion, $7. Huda Beauty, $40. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comment section. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 9:14 p.m. I actually came a lot later than I said I would. I said I was gonna come back at like 6, and it's been 3 hours since 6 p.m. I was just busy editing tonight's upload. Tonight was an upload day for me, so I was doing that, but I'm ready to talk about these two foundations. So here we have $40 Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. Here I have the $7 Profusion Feel Good Skin Foundation. I mean, guys, like, I feel like they look so similar, and I honestly, I don't know what it is, but I think that the $7 foundation by Profusion competes heavily with the foundation by Huda Beauty. If you have been looking for a dupe for the Huda Beauty foundation, or perhaps you've been wanting to buy the Huda Beauty foundation, but you don't want to spend that type of money, then go get the Profusion one at Walmart, because I'm telling you, you will not regret it. It is literally such a beautiful foundation. Look how good it looks even after a long day. Like, it looks stunning. The Profusion one really gives you high-end vibe. I feel like it makes my skin look like it has a filter. You know, like it's so beautiful. So if you haven't checked out the Profusion Feel Good Foundation, I definitely do think it's a great alternative for the Huda Beauty foundation. And I love this foundation so much. It is literally my top favorite high-end foundation. But I just feel like, you know, sometimes we don't want to spend the money on high-end foundation. Sometimes we, you know, have other things to pay for. So this is a great way to go. I will say though, Profusion, if you're watching this, please add more shades. I would love to see a great large shade range of this, because this foundation is so beautiful, and if there was a great shade range, I mean, it would be next level. So that's the one thing that I will love to see expand. I will have all the information of both of these down below in my description box, so you guys can go ahead and check them out, my shade references, all of that good stuff. But I mean, you guys can see Profusion, right? Huda Beauty. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below what you're thinking. Which one do you think looks better? Will you be checking out this Profusion one? Have you checked it out already? Let me know your thoughts. I love starting a conversation with you guys down below in the comment section. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let's me know to continue doing these type of dupe videos for you guys. I love finding really good dupes, because who doesn't love to kind of find something on a budget, you know? It's always the best. So that's all I have. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.